I'd set a little task for the class last day to embed a Google Doc, in this case a page with Zotero search, so a Zotero bibliography basically. So I wanted you to embed that on a separate page on your blog. So when you've got your information, whatever your bibliography created in this Google Doc, we went over to File and Share and Publish to the web. And because we want to embed it, we have to make sure we switch and get the embed code. And here's our embed code. Just click it and it all turns blue. We can go Control C. I'm going to go back and find and put it on a new page on my blog. So I'm going to put it here just to make sure that I'm in the HTML editor, not the compose view, but in the HTML view. And then I'll just pop that code in here. Call it my Zotero bibliography. All right. Okay, and then I'm going to publish it. And yes, we'll confirm that we want to publish that page. And then I want to go view the page. Oops, preview. Let's preview it. So this is what happens when you embed a Google Doc using the code that Google supplies. It's a very small, little cramped display, HTML display. If you look at the code for it, you'll see that there's no real way to, there's no size editors on this. But we see this is in what's called an iframe, starts with iframe and ends with \iframe, and that's a very typical HTML code element. We don't need to know too much about this, but we can make some quick changes to this. We see this part is within quotation marks, and that's actually the reference to the actual document. But within here, there's no sizing elements. We can't change the size of it. So what we need to do is go find an iframe that has a sizing element in it. And I recommended going to W3 Schools, and I've now linked that on the side of the course blog. And because this is in HTML, we're going to go and find a tutorial for HTML. And as I mentioned before, W3 Schools is a fabulous resource. You can teach yourself just about anything to do with computer programming. Not that we need to be computer programmers, but we can learn how to change some elements of computer scripts. So we'll just go into Learn HTML. And now on this left-hand side, it shows me all the different tutorials that I can take. The one that I want for this exercise, I need an iframe. So you can actually go through this and go through the tutorial and practice, and it shows you all the different ways to do it. But I'm just going to scroll down here and find an iframe that has the elements that I want. So here's an iframe that has this source demo inside the quotation marks, but it has these adjusters. So now I'm just going to copy that code, all of that code, Control C, go back to my page here, and where I'm trying to install that Google Doc or embed that Google Doc on the page, find a spot down below, and now I've pasted that code in there. And you see anything that's in the quotation marks is what this iframe is going to point to. So right now I want this document here. Anything inside the quotation marks is the thing that it's going to point to. So I'm just going to, I guess there's a couple ways that I could have done it. I could have copied this code into that iframe. What I'm going to do though is copy this address for that document, and I'm going to paste it into here. Paste it in the quotation marks in my little snippet of code. And then I can get rid of this one at the top here. I don't need that anymore. Just delete that. And now I have this element. But now I've got to change it. So I'm going to change this to, as I mentioned before, I know about what size my web page will show or my blog page will show. So I'm going to make it maybe 800 by 600. I'm going to change the elements. And now I'm going to update it. And now when I preview this page, I've got that document embedded in a way that I can actually see it and read it. And I could even change this a little bit more too and make it a little bit bigger if I wanted to. If I wanted to change it, I'll change that code. And I can't do it in the preview version, but I can do this. I can make this a little wider. Let's make this 800 wide too. And then update it again. And I'll go right back out to the blog page. Look at that view that blog page. So now it's a document, Google document that's embedded in my blog. And this is editable, so if I make an edit to this document on the Google Doc, it's going to change whatever is here. One last step, I want this to display in this top toolbar, so I have to go back into the Blogger design. And if you remember how to do this, I'm going to go into layout. And I want this to show up in the cross column, pages cross column. So I'm going to go here, edit. And I'm going to go down and add a new item. And this one I'd called Zotero bibliography. And I'm going to save that and save it again. So now it's going to show up as an element in the toolbar of my blog. So that's what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to be able to experience this little video clip too. And again, this is something that I've created with